I grew up at Parkcrest, and I also got married at Parkcrest 17 years ago. So I love my Parkcrest people. I go to Revive Church, which was formerly known as 7th Street Church, and I'm an active member there right now. I was on staff for 6 years, so I know all the ins and outs of ministry, and I'm just so grateful for your hearts to serve and to be involved in this. You don't even know what it is, and I know you all just want to do it anyway, so that's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Just a couple of housekeeping things. I won't be able to see you if you're flagging me down trying to ask a question, so let's wait on questions until the end, or there's a chat function in Zoom, and you can use that to ask questions, and maybe Jake, you can help me manage those or make sure we get to them at the end. So here, let's see, here we go. I'm going to share my screen and we will learn about Care Portal. Oh, hey, Scott, I'm not able to share my screen. Can you allow that by chance? Here we go. Awesome. Thanks. Okay. Can everybody see that? Yeah. Okay, great. I will zoom in a little bit. Okay, here we are. So Care Portal is an online platform. Like I said, our church was introduced to it about, I don't know, 6 weeks ago. The last couple of months have been a total blur for me, and I don't know what day it is or what week I learned about anything. So it was just a little bit ago, but I'm super excited because like most of you are experiencing, we have we're home, and I know some people are feeling a little bit helpless. They are used to helping even more so outside the church's four walls than we're allowed to right now. And so this has been a great way for us to engage those willing hearts over at Revive Church. And we've built a response team in Care Portal that's about 35 members strong. And so that's what we're going to talk to you about today, building Parkcrest response team. And this is basically a seamless online platform for the local church to connect to the needs of the vulnerable communities within Long Beach. So that's foster kids, kids that are part of the juvenile justice system, families who are in need of supplies, food, rent money, you name it. There are different levels, and we'll get into that, of needs that need to be met. So here is what Care Portal strives to do. You can see that there are gaps on the left between the community, the church, and the family and the child. They are looking to see families strengthened through churches wrapping around and meeting those needs. So seeing those white lines, those gaps really closed in so that the community and church can wrap around the needs of these vulnerable children and their families. The next slide is just the impact of this organization. This is actually a few weeks old, but you'll see here that Care Portal is a national organization, and they actually have even global efforts. They're in many states, as you can see here. They have helped tens of thousands of children and family through this online platform, through this technology that they've built. And they have some really cool big names and funding behind the organization. I always like to hear that because that makes it more credible to me. So many of you know Chris Tomlin has an organization called Angel Armies. They're behind this 100%, and they have invested a lot into this technology. More than 10% of churches in every county actively engaged in foster care ministry by 2025. That is the goal for Care Portal. And so we're going to see a short video in just a little bit, but just so you understand, the way to close those gaps is that the family in need has a child welfare worker, and that could be a social worker, a DCFS caseworker, an agency like Olive Crest, or maybe like your contact at Adams Elementary. That would be like a requesting agency. They would get in touch with Care Portal. Care Portal shares the need with the local church, and then the church deploys that help. So they answer the need immediately. So I'm gonna stop the sharing of this screen, and I'm gonna start the share of the video. Hang on one second. Okay. You should be able to hear my audio. If for some reason, raise your hand if you cannot hear the audio.
In every community, there are children and families in crisis who need help. But for many, isolation and lack of community resources prevents them from getting the help they really need. And in every community, there are churches and people who care, who want to take action, but what they need is a connection point and support. Care Portal allows child welfare professionals to share real needs in real time through technology. The Care Portal network is already helping children all across the world.
I look at the Care Portal as a platform for us to be able to do ministry across denomination lines, across racial lines, across social economic lines. And the connection then brings ministry really to your people on a day-to-day basis.
The process starts when a child welfare professional identifies a need. They submit a request into Care Portal's platform, which quickly sends a message to participating churches nearby. Each church can respond directly back to the caseworker when they are able to meet the need, or they can engage other churches and community partners who want to help. Whether one church responds or a whole community of churches and businesses and caring people work together, a local church is always at the point of care for children and families in need. Each request presents the opportunity for churches to make meaningful connections. Sometimes that connection is meeting one need at just the right moment. At other times, it develops into a lasting relationship.
So many of our children and families in child welfare are isolated. They don't have a support system. Care Portal can provide not only the physical needs for the children and family, but can also provide a support system and relationships. So this is the community and the churches becoming involved in families and children who need that.
That's what we're all about. We're all about love and sharing it with people. Care Portal is a unifying factor, and I think Care Portal is going to open the door for the church not to be complicit, but to engage.
When you join the Care Portal network, you become part of a movement. We're inviting your church to pray, serve, and give. Jesus is changing the child welfare system through his church. And this work happens by churches saying yes to children and families in need all across the world. So dream about how your church can be part of the movement.
Okay, so give me 1 second. I will go back to my other screens here. That gives you an idea, even better than I could have described, on how Care Portal works. So again, unifying the community through directly linking the church with the need. So, you know, you already have a lot at Parkcrest that you're doing with your relationships with Adams Elementary. Your food bank game is strong right now. This is a way for us to really streamline all of our efforts. And if there are needs in the community that are even beyond what you know about right now, it's a way for those to get uploaded and for the church to be deployed right away through this online platform. Like I said, there are a bunch of different levels of needs. So there are tier 1 physical, tier 2 relational, and tier 3 family. I'm going to show another video because this is going to help us understand what those are. And I want to be clear that when you sign up and make your profile on Care Portal, you can choose at which level you'd like to be involved. So you're able to say, I would like to respond to the tier 1 needs. Maybe you want to bring baby wipes or supplies. Maybe you're comfortable with tier 2 and really forming that relationship on behalf of Parkcrest with that family. And maybe it's even a deeper level in tier 3. But this is a video that will tell us more about that. Thanks for bearing with me on all of my screen sharing.
Jesus met physical needs all the time. Tier 1 is a basic entry point to connect with a child or family in crisis by meeting physical needs. Let's zoom back out to see the spectrum of ways to serve before unpacking the Tier 1 opportunity. The grid provides clarity to help churches take action as they are made aware of the spectrum of the needs that vulnerable children and families have in their community. If the family is intact but simply needs some extra support, the work of prevention begins to keep the family together. If there is a need for the child to live elsewhere for a period of time, the child is removed and placed in temporary care while the biological parents or caregivers work to establish safety for the children. If safety isn't attained, children need a new permanent home through adoption. Or for the child who remains in temporary care until the age of adulthood, they eventually reach transition. Support is crucial across the spectrum. As churches step in, the grid highlights 3 main on-ramps to take action. Tier 1 is connecting with a family by meeting physical needs, providing resources to help stabilize the environment of children and their caregivers. Tier 2 is connecting with children and families through time and relationship. This could be through mentorship, babysitting, or other relational supports. Tier 3 is connecting by opening your home to children or families, whether temporarily or permanently. The grid is not a prescription or a program, but a window to see the possibilities for supporting vulnerable children and families in crisis across the child welfare spectrum. Regardless of where you get involved, there's opportunity for all of us to connect and care. Let's discuss Tier 1 in more detail. This could be providing financial resources, like paying a utility bill, or donating physical items, like a crib and clothing, or providing a service to help stabilize families, like plumbing or extermination. While meeting these needs is essential, the opportunity of Tier 1 is to go deeper than a transaction. We experience hope by moving beyond benevolence to real connection. There are some basic but important best practices when meeting a Tier 1 need. When you go to a family's home, bring someone with you. Jesus sent his disciples out 2 by 2 for many reasons. It is wise to be above reproach and protect the people you're helping. It's also a great chance to invite someone into the story God is writing. Avoid assuming anything based on what you observe or the little that you know. There is always more to the story. We don't know the circumstances that led a person to the crisis they're in. You're there to show love and compassion. If you have any questions, concerns, or follow-up, call the caseworker. As the connection point to the family, they can give you tremendous insight. Encouraging words have power. Look around and find the strength you see in the people you meet. Tell them, lift their spirits, be a light in a dark time for them. When you meet the first need, you may find other things to help with. Rather than giving cash, you should offer to provide physical items. Engaging in the process of meeting specific needs allows you to participate alongside the family. We go expecting to meet a need, but often leave discovering that a need of ours has been revealed. There is always potential for transformation. This won't happen every time, but the heart of Care Portal is this: to experience Jesus through real, meaningful connection with our neighbors.
Okay, so that highlighted mostly Tier 1. The next tier, like I mentioned, is relational, and that is those are requests that are going to be people who need prayer. They would like somebody from the church to come visit them and be the church in that way by forming some sort of relationship or building community with them. And then Tier 3 is, again, going down that road toward the bottom of that funnel, like we used to call with adoption and fostering. And so some of you might be thinking about that too. There's a lot of ways that you can get involved here, but the majority of the requests, I would say, that come in from child welfare workers are those Tier 1, those physical needs that they need responded to within 24 hours, 72 hours, or 7 to 10 days. And the way that it works is there's a network of churches in this Long Beach community that we are building. So Jake and I and Pastor Scott are helping to train other churches. My church is one of the churches that's piloting this. And so we hope to have a network of churches that are in this bubble. And then on the outside of that bubble, you'll see individuals that have signed up to be a part of Care Portal. And so with the click of a button, and I'll show you a couple of sample requests here soon, with the click of a button, I'm able to say, activate my church, or for you, that'll be somebody like Kathy or Marilyn or Scott, who's clicking the button that says, activate my church. And that need automatically goes out to anybody in this bubble that's part of Park Crest response team. And you'll be able to see what that physical need is and respond to it right away, either by contacting that family advocate from your church, or even if they allow it, to contact the social worker or the family directly on behalf of Park Crest Church. And then activating the community is just another level of deploying individuals that don't even go to Park Crest that want to be a part of that response. So here is a sample of a request that came in just before the holiday. This was on, I think, Friday evening, and you'll see the way that these requests are put in, the personal information is kept confidential. They tell us where the need is. So this was in Southgate. 5 children were served, 2 adults were served. It was estimated value of $1,000. You'll see here there was an $800 rent that needed to be paid for them to be able to stay in their house, baby wipes, and newborn baby clothes for this newborn baby. So the social worker put this in. We're working with a dad with an open DCFS case. His wife just had a baby and they have 4 young children, but he's living out of his car until he can reunify with this family. So this is a man that was working toward reunification, really doing all that he could. His hours got cut to 3 days a week due to COVID, and he is trying to provide for his family, but is short the rent money. His family could lose their apartment. They also can't afford newborn baby clothes and wipes. He's taking parenting classes and has been doing everything he can to reunify with his family. He's also willing to volunteer or work in exchange for money. Any amount would be appreciated, etc. So you can see over the last, gosh, how long was this holiday weekend? 3 days long. I was telling Jake we were working on answering this need, and we ended up deploying Revive Church Response Team and the community. Then we did activate our community, and I'm happy to say the rent was paid. They even got some gift cards to Target. Clothes have been dropped off for this baby and a ton of wipes and diapers. So it was the church literally being the church outside of the 4 walls. So that just happened. This request was closed as of today because they had been responded to. And then this one, this just came in today, and this family is taking in 2 foster teen boys. They have a bunk bed set, but to complete it, they need the bottom bunk mattress. And I just deployed a Revive Church, and we actually got somebody who couldn't donate the mattress, but they have a truck, and another person who said that they would donate the mattress. So that need has already been met. So you can see how quickly the church is being deployed. Okay, I know this is a lot of information. Don't be scared. Pastor Scott's got all the answers, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Yes. So how does it work? Here's how it works. You will have received, or it is in your inbox, or it's coming, an email from Pastor Scott that says, thank you for joining, and a link to enroll to be a part of Parkcrest Response Team on Care Portal. You just click that link, and then it'll take you to sign up to help, log in. You click right there. You want to make sure it says Parkcrest Christian Church with Jared Wilkins as the pastor. You click there, and then you enter in your email address, and it'll create your account. It's really easy, you guys, I promise. And then it'll ask you for some information. You choose a password, you fill out all of this information, and then you select California, Los Angeles County. You want to make sure that you select that one. If for some reason you want to get requests from a different state, you can check that too, but definitely check LA County so you can get the requests from LA and Long Beach. Then you will see that Parkcrest Church will auto-populate in this next screen, and you want to make sure it says Parkcrest Church and click Add, and then you're signed up, and a confirmation email will be sent to you automatically from Care Portal saying thank you for joining Parkcrest Church Response Team on Care Portal, and then you'll be signed up to start receiving those needs. Like I mentioned, there will be somebody or somebodies, maybe a few people from your church that will be assigned to be monitoring those needs. So they will decide on whether or not when a social worker inputs the need, if it goes directly to you, or maybe they want to review it first. Somebody like Scott or Kathy wants to review it first and then send out a note to your team saying, hey, here's this need, let's respond to this. So it's all customizable, and they'll work on that on the back end. But if you sign up, you'll begin to get those. Just like the video said, there are, once you sign up, you can go on your on the homepage, and there's a bunch of training videos, how to stay safe, why you should go with somebody, what to do, what not to do, what assumptions not to make about this particular vulnerable community. Just some really great informational videos that you can watch at your leisure. This is really cool. You'll see, this is an example of Crescenta Valley Church, who just signed up not too long ago up in the LA County. And on the Parkcrest homepage, eventually you'll have this. You can see the number of responders, how many responses, the requests that have been met, and the economic impact that Parkcrest has had. So it kind of separates that out for you guys. And again, if we can engage 10% of the churches, we will see more than enough in these different areas. Foster and kinship families for every child to have an ideal placement, adoptive families for every child waiting for adoption, help for biological families trying to stabilize and reunify, and wraparound support from the church for foster, kinship, adoptive, and biological families. And finally, and then we'll get to questions, here are the contacts that you need to keep in case you can think of somebody that might be a good requesting agency, like maybe you know of a social worker or a teacher or an agency that Parkcrest isn't already connected with, and you're like, hey, these people should be inputting needs because they're serving the vulnerable community. You want to direct them to care@parkcrest.org, and the people monitoring that email address will get them hooked up with the right person at Care Portal who will train them to input their needs. And then another frequently asked question is, will the response team opportunity be made available to all of Parkcrest Church? And I'm told by Pastor Scott that yes. The hope is that we start with the few of you, and that we pilot this at Parkcrest with this group, but eventually we make this opportunity available to everybody at Parkcrest to be a part of the response team. And again, the contact email, as you know, is care@parkcrest.org. So, oh my gosh, I have said so many things, and Jake and Scott, I'm sure I missed a bunch. So just jump in here.
Well, you did an awesome job. So I've heard this presentation before. So you got a for everyone on the call, you got a nice condensed version with all the things that you'll want to hear. So awesome job, Miley. The one thing I would add that I want everyone to say is that, so the thing that's not covered off in this presentation that is here is that there will not only be needs coming in from the community that Scott, Marilyn, and Kathy will be sending to us, because I'm on the Parkcrest Care response team as well, but also we will be meeting needs that actually come from within our church as well. So that when you hear this caseworker model, there will be caseworkers from the community that will be bringing inbound needs that we'll see. But we're going to hear from Marilyn. Marilyn is actually going to be our point person for inbound church needs that will get put into the portal as well, that we'll be able to respond to, which is fantastic. So we'll actually get to see all the needs, both outside in the community and within our four walls of our church, get met as well. And also in this early pilot, Kathy is going to be helping us take on some of the needs specifically with Adams Elementary, and actually have those needs entered into this portal as well that we're going to be able to respond to. So we're actually it's exciting in our pilot because we're actually getting to lead some very we're actually on the front of using this technology for meeting these needs and using the portal for that. There's actually not a lot of churches who have used Care Portal for this yet. So it's pretty, Revive actually is 6 weeks in front of us on doing this, but we're actually going to get to be able to use it. And I love, actually, Scott, if you're okay with me saying this, because I love the fact that you are so humble, which is, I love this technology because it's getting me out of the way and putting the need right in front of the people that actually want to get out and just serve, which I think is the case. Eric Marsh has said this the best right now, with everything that's going on with COVID-19. We're in the middle of a blizzard of needs in our own city here in Long Beach. The food insecurity that's in our city right now, the amount of just food insecurity and meeting physical needs is off the charts. So if we can get those needs in front of all of us to be able to just be there to serve and meet those needs, how great would that be? And so, Scott, I know you're excited to be able to put this in place. So that's what, Miley, I wanted to make sure I covered off for Parkcrest specifically. So Scott, with that, anything else that was missed that you want to let everyone know?
No, I think that was pretty good. Because yeah, what we're going to see is one of the big things that Parkcrest is stepping into is the whole is food security. And we've been waiting for like, hey, if we have groceries, can we shop for people, stuff like that. That's going to all now go right onto Care Portal. So instead of it having to come through me and then me reach out to the email to everybody else, and then everybody's emailing me back like, hey, yeah, I can help, or no, I can't help today. Like, you can just go online. You're like, yeah, I have some time. I can help. Okay, there's people that need help. I can take care of that. Scott, here you go. You know, Marilyn, here we go. Kathy, here you go. Because these are the three people that you're going to start seeing a little bit of, in the sense of like, we're the team that is kind of going to be behind it, helping it run. So Adams Elementary, you know, we have 4 families, and some people have picked up those 4 families to care for them, but we're going to have more. And so as we hear about them, we'll dump them right into Care Portal, and you guys will pick it up and take it for, you know, take the need right away, instead of having to wait around consistently. So yeah, so that's going to be, you know, the exciting part about this is it doesn't mean, you know, it means that you guys can see the need and then meet the need. And it's not like, oh, did somebody already meet that? Did they not meet that? Like, all of that kind of stuff goes away with this. So
in a bigger vision, so that we can all appreciate what we're piloting at a Parkcrest, because Parkcrest, I love the fact that Miley from Revive is actually one of the leaders on this, because it's actually a blessing to show the work of Parkcrest's history of church planting and seeing that. But this tool is a technology tool that's going to be able to help us connect the churches in the city. And what Miley is actually focused on with Care Portal is actually bringing on community partners like Long Beach Unified. So what we've already done with Adams, Miley's looking to put that on steroids and have school counselors from all over the district entering needs, and having that all of a sudden put in front of all of us in the church in the city and being able to start meeting those needs. And so we're looking to bring in a network effect of our churches and other churches in the city to get on this and uncover all of these needs. So there's a bigger vision here of being able to bring the church alive in the city of Long Beach. And I'm proud that Parkcrest and Revive get to be right here on the forefront of using this tool to meet the need. It's exciting.
It is. It's exciting, and everything comes full circle. You know, Revive, when we were 7th Street, we were the 7th Street Parkcrest campus. We were birthed out of Parkcrest before we became 7th, and then Revive. So I just love that full circle story, and that we're still just so collaborative together as churches. And, you know, with the Long Beach Church Collective that Pastor Eric Marsh has launched and is really cultivating, you know, this is just such a great opportunity to show all of those pastors and churches the example that we're piloting together, and toss this out to them as an opportunity for their congregations to begin responding, especially in a time like this. So I don't have anything else. I don't know if we want to do any questions or if you want to save those. Okay, yeah, does anybody have any questions? You can just unmute, give us a wave. Anybody? Look at that.
That means that
I think
the information was clear.
I think everyone, as I've seen this now and have gone through this with Miley, you're going to get Scott's email. You're going to get signed up and get into the system, and you're going to help us between Kathy, Marilyn, and Scott start to work this out. But like Miley has said, it took about 2 weeks, Miley, would you say, to start to get 2 to 3 weeks to start getting your rhythm at Revive and starting to get things going. So this team, the people who are on this call, are going to take 2 to 3 weeks, work it out, and then we're going to start to recruit like heck and start to bring other members of the church in to hop onto this team and start meeting the need, because we're going to start to get overwhelmed, because there will be plenty of opportunity to serve.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Anything
Thank you
else?
guys. I will be sending you an email right now, and it'll have the link so that you can legitimately jump right on and you know, hop onto Care Portal and, you know, log yourself in. There is nothing right now on Care Portal, so it's not like you're gonna hop on and be like, oh, look at all these needs right this second. So you will not find anything as of this moment. But the goal is that as we get into this rhythm and as we get more people signing up for grocery need or stuff like that, like I just talked to a guy today, Steve Leary. He's supposed to call me back. He may need help. And so you may see Steve Leary be our first person up on Care Portal, depending on, you know, when he calls me back and says, yeah, I definitely need help or not. So, you know, stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you guys. Yeah, Beverly.
Our home community meets tonight, Scott. Would this be a good opportunity to talk to them about this? And if any of our people want to sign up, is it now a time to get more people on board?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to share the email with the link to it and they can log into Care Portal, I mean, honestly, the nice thing is this, is Care Portal is a place for you to be able to access the needs that are around. So it's not like, you know, if you sign up that you have to do any of it. And I love the tier 1, 2, and 3 because, you know, tier 1 is physical. So it's going to be the, hey, groceries, that kind of stuff. Tier 2 is relational. We do have some relational needs consistently that's been happening. And we're connecting with Long Beach Police Department because one of the biggest needs from Long Beach right now is the police are being called because there are people who are just stuck at home, who are bored, who need contact. And that's why they're getting called. And so we can take some of that off their plate. So even if you sign up and we hear about that stuff, that'll go on Care Portal. So you can be like, yeah, I am not a relational person. All I want to do is buy groceries, or, you know, then great. That's tier 1. We love it. You can sign up for that and not be overwhelmed. If you're relational, you can totally sign up and be like, yeah, I'm totally a relational person. I can go and pray for people. I can go and help somebody feel presence when they are alone and isolated. So yeah, tell your home community, send them the link. So any other questions? All right. Well, if that's it, thank you all for being here. Look at that. That was, you have one? Oh, you were saying bye. I was like, good. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. And yeah, we'll keep in touch, and if you guys have any problems, don't hesitate to email me. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me. If things can be made clear, please email me. You know, I want to make sure that as we continue on this process, that people, when they walk in, they're like, man, this is easy. I can do this. Thanks for letting me serve in an incredible way. So all right. Have a great day, everyone.